name's Carson, and I'm a third-year student.
My name is Vicky, and I'm an international student at Duke, and I'm a professor.
And my name is Kathleen, and this is my first year. Thank you. So the mock trial that we're going to be working on for 10 weeks with you guys looks like a real trial. So we're going to get a case. Last year's case was about a robbery and whether or not this person actually committed a robbery. And we were on the defense side, saying that this person did not do it. It all works up to the big wow at the end after 10 weeks, which Kathleen will talk about.
So your WOW is going to be participating in a real trial against students from Neal Middle School who will also be preparing the case. So you're going to be on one side of the case, they're going to be on another side of the case, and the trial will be held in Duke's new courtroom, which looks exactly like a real courtroom. You guys are going to get dressed up, and you're going to argue your case in front of a real Durham County judge. And your parents can come along with you, and we're also going to have a panel of Duke law students who are going to serve as the jury. And so at the end of the trial, they're going to decide the person is guilty or not guilty. And so you'll find out if you or Neal Middle School won. So we really want those girls to do well.
So, does anybody have any interest in being a lawyer? Okay, so why?
Because mostly, I don't think
Okay. Unfortunately, lawyers can get arrested, but often they know the ins and outs of the legal system better than most. Sure. Anyone else? Yeah.
they help other people.
They can, absolutely.
That was innocent or
Right. The people who are accused, who are wrongly accused, they can help prevent them from going to jail, or if they actually are convicted, get them out of jail a lot of times. Yeah. Absolutely. So prosecutors, right? If something happens to you and the prosecutor is out there to help sort of put the person who did something wrong to you in jail potentially, or create some sort of amends. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I feel annoyed because you know how they don't got any of those testing things in court to see if you're lying or not. And I hate it when people lie in court. Yeah, a lot of tests. And I hate when people lie in court and you let it out and it's going to keep on doing the same thing that they were doing that got them into this.
Absolutely. That's something that's important about being a lawyer, is you have to sort of be able to tell whether somebody's telling you the truth or whether they're lying. And you're right, they don't allow polygraph examinations into court for a variety of reasons, but they're generally not considered reliable enough. So what's considered more reliable is your judgment, and your judgment as jurors, as the judge, or as attorneys. So that's something that is important. Anything else? Yeah.
some people. When I went with my mom to go see my aunt at the court, she was being the person as what's it called?
Okay.
She was helping my aunt get out of jail to see if she was doing bad stuff. And why do they have like a person that sits in the chair and type of stuff? Why do they do that?
Okay, so that's probably a court reporter, and the reason that you have that is, so say you go to trial and you're accused of something and you're convicted, but you don't think you did it and you want to appeal. So there's multiple levels. So one court is the trial court, and that's where you actually show up and argue in front of the judge and there's a jury. Then there are appellate courts. Like, who's heard of the Supreme Court? Anybody? So the Supreme Court would be an appellate court that you could argue to. So if you were going to go argue your case why you really didn't do it, or why there's some reason your conviction should be thrown out, you need that transcript so you can read it to them and say, well, this is the point that wasn't fair. So that's why they have somebody typing.
I actually worked as a court reporter in federal courts in D.C. for a while. It was a great time.
I have another question.
Sure.
Why do they take like a dignity test? It's
A DNA test?
yeah, people have to take those.
Yeah. So there are different parts of like family law, for example. Sometimes laws say, if you are a parent of a child, you're supposed to pay child support, and so it's important to show if someone is related to someone else. To be like, this is actually my son. This is the DNA test, and it just shows
So has anybody seen CSI? Yeah? So why might DNA be important? Can you tell me from CSI why they might get DNA?
Oh, for fingerprint,
Yeah, absolutely, right? Or what else?
or probably when they go out to look on the grounds where it happened, they can find blood splatter on the ground and yes, it's still on tape and they can take it.
Absolutely. So that's another good reason why they're not. Yeah. Absolutely, right? So if they find blood there, then they can run it through the database of known criminals who have had their blood drawn, and they can look. Yeah, absolutely.
They got when they got stuff that proves that they did and stuff. When you got their fingerprints and stuff.
Right. It's likely that you were there. Your fingerprints were on something there, right? So it's tough to argue that you weren't there if you got a big handprint that says I was right there. Absolutely. Or you could wear gloves, right? That's probably, unless it doesn't fit, you gotta quit. Yeah.
When people wear gloves, don't they still get the DNA test?
Here or your, yeah, blood.
Right. So there are a lot of ways that they can find it. You can see that on CSI or other shows. Yeah. Sure.
One is when, once I saw this movie, somebody, they were trying to murder someone, and they didn't wear no shoes, and so they didn't know the footprint.
Okay.
But, if you had your bare feet and you're walking, can you ever leave footprints on any hard ground or anything?
I don't think so. That's a good question.
You can. There is some tests where you can get, like, you know how your fingers all have fingerprints? Your toes have those too. And so there have been tests where they take toe prints off when you're walking on, like ground like this, where, like, they could find the toe prints afterwards. But some ground doesn't transfer like that.
Same thing on on the test, the body test, but the test with the blood and stuff. Because I have, my parents, they go to the corporate and they so I was wondering, if they were saying that that's what can you do it by look and or you just can't do it period.
They can always take blood, but they can take a sample of your blood now, today, and your parents today, and they would run it a DNA test, and they would show that it's the same DNA. So it's never too late to do it.
So one of the things we talked about with being a lawyer was your ability to argue and your ability to tell when somebody's lying. So one game that we play to sort of practice that is called Two Truths and a Lie. So what happens is Elisa's going to give you 3 statements. 2 of them are true and 1 of them is false. So she's going to ask you to guess which one is false. If you guess which one is false, then you get to go. You get to come up with 3 statements and ask your classmates to guess which one is false.
Okay, so my statements are, I was born in India, I have 1 sister, and I like to read.
You was born in India.
That's right, that's not true. So now you get to go.
I killed. I killed Miss K. And and I run over a deer. And
So only 1 has to be a lie. 2 should be true, but only 1 is a lie.
oh, and
So you've done 2 of those things.
Two of those things are true.
you can't draw. And I look at you. This. Oh, I did.
Well, she's calling them. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you do.
You killed Miss K. Yes. And I did not kill Miss K. That's so good. Miss K is our principal. Miss yes.
You mean Miss
Kirkpatrick.
Citizen!
Go.
So I believe we're playing playing two truths and a lie. You're next, right? Go ahead.
I put injection in the face. I hate reading, and I love math.
Oh.
MJ.
Punch Justin in the face.
Yes.
Hey.
So this will be the last one, MJ.
I like playing basketball. I like playing football. And I love to read. Ooh. Share.
You love to read?
Yes.
I knew that one.
Alright guys, that's all the time that we have for today, but thanks for playing the game and thanks for listening so well. We hope that you choose mock trial and we'll see you next week.
Alright. So, 6th graders. Can we give our mock trial volunteers a 1, 2, 3?
Nice.
Wait. So nice. 4, 5, 6 is sweet. So, can we give them a 1, 2, 3?
Nice.
Great. What I need you to do now is collect all your things and line up at the door.
When's the science?
It's gonna look good on the name tag.
Mark. I spelled your name.
Really? That's awesome. You'd be a good team member to have if you know about it already.
I know, I was thinking like, for my hospitality. My parents say like, that's a interpreter. Oh,
Just
I like,
trouble, don't
you like justice? Okay, well, I hope we would remain 27, because that's what justice is.
You should, I'm thinking welding in practice is, seriously, I read this article for the assignment today, and it's like the most heartbreakingly accurate, psychological, terrible. Yeah, and it's just, it's like why law school is so bad, and it's talking about like how you distance yourself from like, it's bad. Everyone comes in like wanting to like roll on fire, like, yeah, exactly, that's just totally screwed. It's like the reasoning that's preferred is like very difficult.
I wasn't listening to this on Me. I'll give you a sharpener for it. I'll give you a pencil sharpener for it. More than that piece of candy. She did. Oh, I called you a she.
You ate Dave on.
Call her a real one. I won't go to.